What's happening, beautiful people? My name is Dirty Mike, and today we've got the FIFA 16 defending tutorial. And I've returned from the Maldives. We had the World Series of Video Games, huge event. I had a great time. I'm so happy the 35-hour flights are done. If you enjoy the content, if you find the tutorial useful, make sure to drop a thumbs up, share it around the community, and hit me with comments. Do you have any questions? I try to get back to as many people as possible. Which tutorials do you want to see in the future? Here we go with the basic. I'm looking at the cookies and cream, the Milky Way, those defensive foundations that are going to make life so much easier in terms of FIFA. Put your body between the player and the ball. You can either jockey or you can tackle or combine both of these techniques into one great sandwich. I'm talking much better than a peanut butter and jelly. Maybe you threw some honey on there. I'm going with all the food references today. And if you don't know how to jockey, you're unfamiliar, please sit down, pause the video right now, let's practice. Use the LT command or the L2 command, just depending on platform. And if you're having issues with feeling like you're on ice skates while defending, this will change your entire game. Use the jockey, use and abuse. It's much better than the contain button, and you have a lot more control. It can tackle for you, I promise. And right now in FIFA, a lot of people are struggling with skills and turns, so it's more powerful or overpowered than it's ever been. And now the first touch takeover. This is a rinse, wash, and repeat. Attack your opponent's first touch. It's going to immediately increase the percentage of you making a tackle or disrupting that play. We have this freeze frame. Anything chipped through ball, anything in the air, ooh, if you can get on that first touch, you are going to ruin your opponent's attack before it ever got started, or he's going to get screwed over in the final third, and that's fine. Works as an advantage for you. Always use the chase back, man. As you can see on screen, we've got a guy that's kind of in tackle range, but if I'm able to get him back into the play, I never have to move the center backs. I don't have to be as aggressive or as risky. Now we have the aggressive bait. Speaking of, now this is a little more of an advanced technique, and I like to call it a cover and go. As you can see, I've circled one of the defenders. I'm going to chase that through ball run, and right when I notice that the timing is a bit offset, I'm going to turn into the aggressor, and that's why I say it's aggressive bait, and we're going to try to start a counter attack. I wouldn't recommend doing this every single time you're defending, but it's something you should have in your back pocket, and you should be able to see the situation, be able to recognize what's happening. And now another beginner area that's just going to apply at every level of FIFA, whether you're in divisions, tournaments, the draft. Cut the angles, cut the angles, cut the angles, cut the angles, because you have players that they're not going to win the 50-50 when you bump shoulders, especially against Ronaldo or against an Ibrahimovic. You have to get ahead of these guys, make them turn, make them cut inside. And not all your center backs especially are going to have the pace to really challenge on a 50-50 with a direct tackle. So you're going to go a little bit ahead. You're going to play those angles. We get an easy stop right there. And I just recommend the diagonal angle on diagonal angle over and over again. It's a good look. Now, defensive zone as well as defensive pressure. Now, with the zone, you're trying to cover all the passing lanes. Look at this. Woo, thing of beauty. We have so many players surrounding everywhere he wants to go. There was no option for him in that scenario. I don't know where he could have passed it to really make something happen. And the second example is pretty similar. We're switching players, but we're just covering the bases. We get a good tackle, and it makes it easier to build up. Now we've switched into pressuring. And I want you to take notice. My opponent is running. His back is turned. It's time to bring the heat. Let's put this thing on fire. And this is where you're going to use the teammate contain often. You need to sprint players everywhere. And if you're playing against someone who's nervous, you're in a low division match, or you think your opponent is just struggling mentally, bringing the heat, swarming your opposition can be a risk that can change the entire game. And it's a little more advanced because it's going to take you a little time to get used to this. You can use the offside trap as well to increase pressure, but you can't do this reckless or you will get beat, especially against good opponents. Now we have anticipation. And actually the AI does some anticipating for you in this year's installment, which I don't like, but we're just going to step in front, and I use the fullback, which means the only pass that's open is on the wing, which is safer for me. And I'm all about safety. Even though you see me doing some risky stuff here and there, it's mostly about safety, and I don't want to push my luck not too far. We just step right in front. The center back, we got the ball. We're in there like swimwear, and we're sliding into the DMs. Now, slide tackles have been heavily upgraded. I still don't use them nearly enough, and you're going to be able to cover a lot of ground. So right here, I'm a little bit reckless, But there's only one place you can go to beat me, and that's taking space down the wing. And I've also noticed with slide tackles, you can offset the play. Even if you don't get the initial slide, the animations of the attackers, they jump over your feet. All sorts of weird things happen, and you're able to break up plays or stop a counterattack. Thanks again for watching. Make sure to link up with me on Twitter at DirtyMikeUSA or Instagram at DirtyMikeVision. I've got so much more goodness on the way. Woo!